Ebusafo yema obibia ha. Yema obibia kwa bebium. Riaba Marego TV so. Se na onim de bia no Monday to Friday Sports Center Jume de bo 3 pepepe na ya je akonya kama pa na nsema ekoso wa agudie mo efie ebibrem ene amono ne de sefata se yede nyina so ebre wo kama na ya transe na yede hunsem so abrem ye wi a na ya transe na ya pensem mo na yede hu komo kakra na de sefata eho analysis na ade nyina so ama kama eneso nyakopon ede da kese we so ache ya minumie no na se ade a wo se efasida emfa kuma nyankopon mrason se Marego TV fa Sports Center Jumedi enso famrel ene ewie na midin e the champions slide team na set obibia aye crowd pa se ene no ye the sports Jumedi so ebre ahwefo a mo hwe e wo Facebook search Marego TV MARAG on say obenya Marego Sports Center Jumedi fefe na so nya bi ahwe na afa do comment na afa like comment na share no bisunya bi share na no so enye fe na afa so ya de YouTube also no bibia so da ho kama na say Marego Sports Center Marego no search subscribe ni nyina mo no your programs na ni nyina so wenya bi ahwe TikTok Instagram X bibia na say Marego TV enso eguso etwegu wo na nyina mo no enso nyama ya de ebramo kama na enewie no nsem doso ofa di kan e de tidbit ebebere ye wi a na abetrase ni edin comment no games ni bi ekoso ebeka ho asem na afeso Adam Matesa eno so eguso ekoso Antoine Semenyo eguso share goals na nipa bebre ye kasafa ni uza Abranti we ono ano ye icon na so e Ghana football ebere na afeso no Antoine Semenyo form no betimi aboy wo Ghana because blasa oba ya na logos is ani nyina mo no ye de unsem so bebre de ofa di kan yenfa tidbit yenfa mra ye wi a na yenfa discussion segment so emeto am so enewie kama na yenhya ase na yenkopiemo e wamonone na latest na ye de bremo ene awie na e ade a game say yimpio game e ba so abra Wolves so eche Liverpool e bom by 2 goals to 0 after game no nipa bebre ene chem say Liverpool defense enye kra na wo Ibrahim Konate ne Virgil van Dijk we mo players a hodo na so mu ni ball pa cause experience e wo ball mu a they are exposed to big games na so ko share Wolves team na so da so also 20th na we say ni point a hodo nya kra wo form na yetima actually Liverpool nyama bebre ano and slot e chem say ampa mu kasa no mu dibim ani nyina mo no enye sa na tie yentie anu yi a and slot enso edima amafo bebre na so mo twabo ne defense no.
It's not the perfect word to use because it's not what I feel, but I can't come up with another. I'm almost annoyed if you say that approach, but because the approach is not different. The approach is we want to have the ball as much as possible and we want to have it back as soon as possible. So we always press high, and when we have the ball, we try to attack. Then that in the final part, when we have the ball in the same position, it leads to chances as it didn't happen in the first 70 or 80 minutes. That is something I see as well, but that's not down to approach, so maybe don't.
For when he semana slot and so etiaba and ewie yenko piemo e wo Man U coach ne dey e dey Michael Carrick na say nra uko piemo e wo St James Park Newcastle 10 men down no echi Man U e bom by 2 goals ward game na no shipa and so ho na after game no na Michael Carrick e chem say why really hurt pa ye ka so bia hurt ya say bibi say ade no aye ni ya akana kuma pa also well disappointed pa na mpacho fa Michael Carrick to so am ye o say the buy no na so onyi ni kra sanka e wo say ni team no enso team slippery sa o say game ni koso na seke abinina Man U e ball 11 against 10 na wo sanka Man U for no etimi take advantage ni yemo no amani sa de no Michael Carrick enso aye well disappointed nsema o kan after the game.
Yes. We can't lose sight of the bigger picture as well, and it's we got to be better for this. The boys have been fantastic, you know. So we've lost a game of football. Listen, it hurts me a lot. I'm really disappointed with tonight for different reasons, but we can't lose sight of the position we've put ourselves in as well. So as much as I'm disappointed, and we need to learn from it because it's a bit of a lesson for us tonight in some ways. We can't lose sight of the bigger picture as well, and it's we got to be better for this. The boys have been fantastic, you know. So we've lost a game of football. Listen, it hurts me a lot. I'm really disappointed with tonight for different reasons, but we can't lose sight of the position we've put ourselves in as well. So as much as I'm disappointed, and we need to learn from it because it's a bit of a lesson for us tonight in some ways. We can't lose sight of the bigger picture as well, and it's we got to be better for this. The boys have been fantastic, so we've lost the game of football. Listen, it hurts me a lot. I'm really disappointed with tonight for different reasons, but
I was avoid when Sema Michael Carrick, and so at the Abba Nevi or say why I was disappointed. I'm really hurt. What I say, there's a not here, none and in that say Newcastle, as we share man. You said it so. Say since there's a boxing there, man, you first started winning games in there's a Bian show, na Newcastle for Chelsea for Niaje. Say ya share man you. What I say, Nra, Umuko winning bear 4. Decided it when Sema Michael Carrick, and so they are to the never now. So Emma, Nego Piemo. Our Man City coach in the day, Eddie Pep Guardiola, HM said, Man City extra, it's Sports Stadium, and then Nottingham Forest elbow 2-2 after a game, and a Pep Guardiola, HM Sam, Panini model, a cabe 10 games. It's a while who which one I say, why you say Biasna Gilig, and young fast how. I got 10 games, Yenti in summer, Guardiola, so after said the team and Ra, Omni Nottingham Forest elbow 2-2.
Still games to play for them one less, and now it's Newcastle. Always I thought about that. So what's next? So nothing too much. Analyze, and in general was a good performance. Many good things, and of course there are things we can improve and some departments, but in general it's really good. Still games to play for them one less, and now it's Newcastle. Always I thought about that. So what's next? So nothing too much. Analyze, and in general was a good performance. Many good things, and of course there are things we can improve and some departments, but in general it's really good. Still games to play for them one less, and now it's Newcastle. Always I thought about that. So what's next? So nothing too much. Analyze, and in general was a good performance. Many good things, and of course there are things we can improve. And
I was avoid when he's about Pep Guardiola, HM Saka 10 games into what you say, Bia, Arsenal for the league, and Yano credit, Aka, on point Gamma 7.20 summer, APM Kaka, and then no game back, so Brighton of Albion, any Arsenal, Bukayo Saka, and a board that only go way, Akoma, Akubio Kwama, say Bukayo Saka. 300 Premier League appearance, and so they are Arsenal and Raw board the winning goal, and so the man Arsenal after a game no, next say Brighton for coach and a day Eddie Fabian McHozela, and so HM say as I say no football no and your cry. Now no and ya do best our coach na Sebi, Okusho put it be a ball number, the Ohian says set pieces near the idea. Also HM say no game no na no shape. Then you say team back on the bobo in the Canadian basketball in your man corner mobile, Yentin Comantuka kakra. Fabian Hozela after saying no Arsenal, I got you Brighton for a bomb by 1 goal to 0.
After effort from my boys, I loved how they play football. I think there was only one team who tried to play football today, and therefore I'm proud how they did it. Did you see in the Premier League game a goalkeeper going down 3 times? No, we can't control these kind of things. I think therefore the Premier League has to find the rule. If the referee allow everything, then it's difficult. Then they make their own rules. So at the moment I have the feeling they are doing their own rules. I will never be that kind of manager.
I was saying Premier League never find rules in a bear. Officials no yema obi anya free. We a goalkeeper. Na be ball corner kick na players bebre. And so e ba ho na feel ho nyina ye ma. Debi kra referees for no emfa mrabimra say the bear. Na sɛ nyina mo no so betimi aboa ni nsɛm a coach e de tudwa ene awie na owie pe no na Mikel Arteta amutrim enso e coach ogiremo edima Arsenal say ampa me Mikel Arteta na sɛ me players no I love them, I'm proud of them. Bolo mo bo no efe what I say na sɛ competition na kasa koso a o se nyina mo no money ball players ko boy no ano o Mikel Arteta nani age nani aso enso e won no money ball eno a mo ko pie mu away e ko g 3 points enso edima the team no.
It's a surprise.
Would you like to expand on that?
No. I mean, you just go back for the previous games and you will find a lot of comments like this always. So,
do you feel like that?
I love my players. That's what that's the highlight. I love my players. We love our players, and I love the way we compete.
Do you feel like there's a lot of anger aimed at your players from externally, though?
I think they love our players. I mean, every time they talk about
I was about when this Mikel Arteta mutrim and so they about never dinner so Emma kama now it so extra English Premier League games how do a bass result coaches no reactions no and I didn't so Emma and never inko Pima Chelsea coach and then Eddie Liam James Senior and so James said no I was Villa Park no Chelsea away Aston Villa bomb by 4 goals to 1 said Joao Pedro and obo hat-trick ma Chelsea team no na say ade akopa ma munyina e de ba ko so so kama nti after game no and Liam James Senior James apa say no ne team no e che nkabo ma mu che unity na sampa e wo sani na mo no so mu toko so ye ni sana Chelsea modo and so bit wa akoni se ne be atop for no Chelsea and so be kemu afi.
It wasn't my ideas come from the players, and I really like it because they're showing unity and togetherness and spirit, and I think you need that. Before anything, you start talking about tactics or systems, you need a group of players willing to run and fight for each other. And in my time, I have to say, there's not been one game where I can say they haven't given everything or I was disappointed with their application, and that bodes well. They're a good group, they're a tight group, they enjoy each other's company, and that's half the battle. It wasn't my ideas come from the players, and I really like it because they're showing unity and togetherness and spirit, and I think you need that.
Yes, you coach at the Eddie Liam James Senior. James say Chelsea nyama so si we ni seba APM kakra na ready na so Emma kama na yenko yeda so eja UP ahun say sem na say penny4 and so I the nomination aba na say player for the month of February players how do amuso bo modern pa no e penny4 so dia ba say yento aba na face no the sofata say at the month of February obo no modern e wo English Premier League no yemfa ni na so emfa emomo na say ampa players ni be and so you mutia na say the tier is a God of what the Antoine Semenyo and so a player back and also eka players nominees so ya nominate omo na say for the month of February no show screen is wa Victor Joker say Jeremo Edema Arsenal Sanso and Nico O'Reilly so Jeremo Edema Man City Sanso Dango Watara Jeremo Edema Brentford Antoine Semenyo Jeremo Edema Man City Benjamin Shesko Jeremo Esu Edema Man United face Virgil van Dijk and so Ejema Edema Liverpool 20 players how do I penefo so betu tonto na fence no the Osefota send in body ba so any month of February no now no so the Sabbath body no and so they are common na engo pe coaches that so kakra now also yambu boss so na coaches how do I penefo so team nominate omo ahead of next the month of February award amuso beje na say the Kate Andrews and so coach Ejema Edema Brentford Michael Carrick Ejema Edema Man United also the Pep Guardiola Ejema Edema Man City so Annie Slot Ejema Edema Liverpool 20 coaches mark back 9 but one kasa woni saying coach Ben and a month of February I was say this about support the fight 20 sema e penefo so diaba e wo English Premier League unsema and they ready now so Emma kama na yemfa nsem ne nto aso e yengo piemo e wo American actress ababa ne ho ofe pa na ye ga so ba ho ofe ababa we ne wo twapa what I say ne din e de Sydney Sweeney na Sydney Sweeney HM sampa oye actress mom die ne mom abrante ba kwa ofle ni pa o check ni pa what I say na nko nya no pa nko no ebe ye yisa no Cristiano Ronaldo o chem sampa sanko no ngasa oye footballer pa dia enga Cristiano Ronaldo ebe ni role model o chem sa abrante we o jira park so a debut person winning debut person ya de fufro enso e wo ne football brabo na obonim o chem sampa e ade asese ni de nko nya ya nka oye footballer na oye footballer nso dia nka Cristiano Ronaldo enso enebeye ni role model and ni inspiration ezasa brantie we o TV echi na hwe Cristiano Ronaldo ten on that damn players e share goals ahodo o 40 years ni echi ogusu bobo share goals na chesampa Cristiano Ronaldo enso a player ba kwa ofle ni yepa 20 sema American actress din e de Sydney Sweeney enso de aba enewie e na so ema kama enso e wo honom na yara so ka players who sem no yengo piem Cristiano Ronaldo ni girlfriend ye de Georgina Rodriguez Hernandez enso HM sampa ena no twem what I say e wo na se Argentina mo wa ena bawo be fe no bisa se Georgina yi na okra no enye nansen na hu se wo na ya woton bass what I say na ada na se ndie utwem ase otu no so abawa mameka se bicho ababoro sa na tie what I say emre da na so ada no ho bi first no na me Georgina na me ton bass what I say ni die me ton bass o se me to what I say say abrabo no sika e ade afa bo hwa atade e che no ene ni kiki ni bibia che sampa Cristiano Ronaldo ni re no ho of point 20 sema epiem kakra e wa Cristiano Ronaldo girlfriend e dey e Georgina Rodriguez ho asema o team say first no ton se o to first I buy them I sold them, now I buy them. What I say, iti, sikaka sa okay, iti, erena, yenye ya, nensu yengo nyebi wate, iti, se no, yenye ya, nenye, iti weni sama, APM kakra, yengo PMO, and so, our Newcastle defender, any captain, at the current Trippier, and so a player bakwa, within fear mark 35 years. Na abrante way, waware ni yire, no, oni ni yire no, awe mama kumako miensa, what I say, na current Trippier, HM says, say no, I said, ni yire asanka na oye iwom na chesa, I said, emwa hojo ni ada de aitido onyanko betwa no kakra na abrante ko twa no ba no na sa babawa ono so ogem edema only fans ndeden enso edi Kelani Webster ha mo benya foni na to so amamia aha ndeden edi Kelani Webster abawa we ono that screen so no we di 21 years pe na current Trippier edi 35 years ono ni yire e wo hwe usani fa so a ono ni yire ma makoma miensa e na current Trippier chem so we dem amemtwa me kakra na brante ko twa ne ho no oni ababa we ne de Kelani Webster we di 21 years pe se ni de ade a aware ne gu esa se current Trippier wakochiti e woni yire ni so anti weni sema APM kakra footballers no erade at same way it weni sema ene wie na abawa nso ne ho fe utwa ababa we a na mo fa check kakra picture na no wo but wo hwe ne nim ni na no pa ni adade a nyama egu ne ho pa ne kon chain de Trippier sa na beba na wo hwe ni ire nim pa mo se ni ire no akomko iti ope mebumba akobi na ode aye ne ho ana ase aware ne gu but 21 years die ko fo be ku yo kroba guess be ku yo kroba ti sade the current Trippier say oni ni yire no mojaye mo makoma miensa wa ko chiti amase aware ne gu a woni se wa di nyina so ebro na de ye di sorry so kra no na munyi fiso ye na say picture na efe pa na FIFA 4 enso de aba say nyame adoba World Cup jerseys ni be e was say yetimi print e West Africa na a project ya to the day say made in West Africa project they say no share there na Gianni Infantino any penifo no cra jerseys into World Cup jerseys nyina brebe na be print from Africa na ya choose Benin and now face Mali Burkina Faso any Ivory Coast we ni na say countries how do I penifo e choose from say they be a cotton industry no yes we bit ma print na say FIFA World Cup jerseys brebe na from Africa na dey akwa America Canada and Mexico ni 90 say ni there na say World Cup jerseys nyina bebe na be fi Africa we ni sama eno so APM na wi ye na so ema o kama so e wa busu for menu ko isem no so dos e fancy a na ye ntwa on kakra ye kopa na say discussion segment no e dey aka so ba beto am so aware for no mo ye na mo hwa mo nso yi na bibia nya okay na bibia so nya fine ma wa so mo ba na mo ya hwe wate na ye ya wate say ti ni nyina bo so person sponsor ya obetimi afre number we 0201 672828 ebusafo yakoto bibi kakra ye betisi a na de aka no so no abeto amuso enawie
Fly away, yes, I'll fly away.
Glorious Event Center is the perfect venue for all your special occasions. From wedding ceremonies and birthday parties to funerals, live band performances, corporate events, and private gatherings, we've got you covered. Let me show you around. We also have spacious conference rooms, restaurants, canopies and chairs, guest rooms, live bands and spinning equipment for your services. Glorious Event Center also provides video coverage and photography services for all your special occasions. Locate Glorious Event Center at Akuse Junction off the Temakosombo Highway. For bookings, please call 020-167-2828. Glorious Event Center, your perfect venue for all your corporate and private events.
Oh yes, I'll fly.
Are you thirsty and in need of well-purified water to quench your thirst? I recommend Glorious Natural Mineral Water, produced through reverse osmosis to the highest quality. This highly purified water is perfect for any occasion, being it wedding ceremonies, parties, funerals, engagements, and many more. Contact Glorious Natural Mineral Water on 0548 493522 or 0503 130395. We produce in bulk quantities, so just let us know how much you need. We are located at Bon Ahunjo off the Temako-Sobo Highway and Dakuman, Nyamiche, Abeche Street.
Ebusafoɔ ne nyinaa yɛ akwaba ne nyinaa aha Marego TV Sports Center Jumedie so na wi na so ma ka yɛ de kai de na se tidbit ne bremo baby edu de discussion segment adi na so ebe o kama ka me see Facebook no search Marego TV MARAGO search like comment fa mo no bi so nya bi na nya first aso na YouTube ko subscribe keke banya Marego Sports Center Marego the programs nyinaa by notification na afen so akonya bi ahwe na ye kama pa na nyina bodo ntiro ba bia wo bia no na se Sports Center Jumedi na wasogu so a ohwe kama enso e wa ha na ene no ye be kan leaks ahun se me bai na nyina de ofa di kan na so ofa to so mienu no part A no ye de have your say be ba ye wi a ne aka leaks ni me wa by 4 penny sorry so then de hyehyehye na ye koye ba bi na ma me nko na me ma bidjafo so akwa aba kama na afen so no ye mfa de aka na nto asabidjafo moye na mo fa into ho na ye nya isa mo hoye bibia ye fine there na say ben stressa na there aren edien ade see down with 10 men okay iti ebusafo sa na tenti no ye hwe na afi ye hye ase na emrenu ko ene ye wanu apena Kofi Amijo Musa don be mokom ha. Ba nya re se Newcastle share wa anya news. What I say? Newcastle share Man U anya news. But say Wolves share Liverpool anya news.
Oh, a news.
Yeah.
What I say? The kind of praises are. Na ye de mark Harrick no.
Ye be ba ho.
Eno odrubu ye san.
O de ye be ba. But ene de mi amem be 1-1 mi nem maka wase. Why? Iti ebusafo Patrick wa Benten enso wanu ma. Yedi Sports Center discussion segment proper no and so mama ko ben ho na me ma ben akwaba na afa ben have you say no who the end fine who the call him the next 5 minutes no ben fire call na face no 5 cross okay who the mama ma be 7 no Patrick so 7 na we mu ko sa oh ti ewia na de no so afa mti ben the next 7 minutes wo dia yenko
me that say etiefo we chamo nyina so now we are starting with okay, so we wanted to start with Europe, but let's start with the local scene. When Liam Rosinia came to Chelsea, he had 4 separate private interactions with Joao Pedro. When Michael Carrick came, he had 3 separate interactions with Šeško. Yeah. And in all of those interactions, Berbatov was present. And you could see that after those private interactions, their goal scoring returns, their performances improved. It means that one-on-one section with the player actually have a kind of an impact. Now, all of those sections came in the coach office. Now, if you look at the offices of Liam Rosinia and Michael Carrick, they are everything there. TVC, Hobey 16. They have laptops like 5. So as they are interacting with the players' games that he played, the mistakes he made, the move he should have made that he didn't do, it was all on the screen, and they were showing it to the various players. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this in relation to House of Folk strikers. You could see that Wayo and what's the name, Aboraduk and the rest, they are fumbling. They are not. they are not delivering the goals. House of Folk top scorer is an eyesore. The House of Folk top scorer is with 5 goals. So if let's say Didi have a well-equipped office with 10 monitors and 5 laptops, and then he calls Wayo and Abora, come and sit down. Why you sit down? This is what we are saying on this. Look, a team tactical section is different from a coach this interaction. So let's say Didi called Wayo, and then he told Wayo, come and sit down. Look at the screen. Look at your movement here. Look at your this and this here. Don't you think that interaction will improve them?
Yeah.
No, please, not this one. That interaction would improve them. But in Ghana, the only club I know so far that they have such an office with not with these TVs and the rest, but with internet and the rest is Mediama.
Yeah.
Mediama have a coach office, an assistant coach office, and everything. But I don't know about House of Folk. Even if they will have maybe just a small office with tables and then 1 laptop. So one-on-one interactions with players is very important to their development. We all remembered when Mourinho called Dele Alli and told him, Dele, years gone by, I was 25. Now I'm 60. If you don't do well, so you see the settings, everything was there. So I urge all clubs to kind of have a proper, well-equipped office for the Ghanaian coaches, so they can have a one-on-one interactions with the players for them to improve. You understand? So I think it's an eyesore though. Why you 5 goals, Aboraduk is it 3 or 2? So I think one-on-one interactions are very important. You could very see that when Oligana was there, Benny McCarthy was brought in. And in that season, Marco Rashford scored close to 40 goals. So one-on-one interactions are very important. Now let's go to France. The new coach of Marseille, Habib. Marseille has been eliminated from the Coupe de France by Toulouse on penalties. Habib became the first coach to be eliminated from the same competition in the same season twice. So he was with Rennes and he was eliminated by Marseille 3-0. And now he went to Marseille and then he was eliminated by Toulouse on penalties. So as it stands now, there is no way that Marseille is going to win a trophy. Now let's go to Semenyo. I think that should have been our question of the day, but I think we'll do that later. Now, since Semenyo came, he's kind of taking the shine of Haaland. You look at his goal scoring armory, the way he's scoring goals, his positional play, the kind of goals he scored, you will see that there's improvement. And there's no more pressure on Haaland to deliver. And even the dynamics of the game against Nottingham, which we will talk about later, that free kick that he played and Sales tipped it off, it shows that now the guy is adding some form of free kick taking ability to his game. So maybe the question of the day, we will answer that. But I think if Man City wins the Champions League and wins the FA Cup, even without winning the Premier League, I think Semenyo should win the African Best Player.
He deserves something.
He deserves it. Because in the context of the World Cup, I don't think that one plays much in the African Best Player because Osimhen won the Italian Serie A. And then that same year, the African Cup was played and it was won by Cote d'Ivoire. But no Ivory Coast player won the African Best Player. They gave it to Osimhen. So if Man City wins the Champions League and then in some cases the FA Cup, I think Semenyo needs to be given the African Best Player. Now let's go to Arsenal. So Arsenal defeated Brighton by a lone goal to go 7 points clear. We will talk about that in our main topic. But let's talk about what Fabian Hessler said. Look, I don't care how you play. All that is important to me as a football analyst and as a fan is my team winning. You understand? So if somebody deploys his tactics, it is also up to you to deploy your tactics to counter the tactics of that person. By you saying that Arsenal did not come to play but to win, I don't know. But football is all about winning. You know, we've seen teams play beautiful football and won nothing at the end. So if he says, I'll never be that kind of manager, it is his problem. He will never win anything if he does not want to be this kind of manager. We also, what's the name? De Zerbi, saying the same things. He will not change. Football is not about trophy. Football. But at the end of the day, you'll be judged by achievement. So what he's saying that he will never be that kind of manager, I think is far-fetched. Probably he's kind of confused or frustrated that he lost to Arsenal in a shabby way. Somehow, Arsenal did not even play well in that particular game. By a deflected shot of Baleba and then they scored. But I think Fabian Hessler should not be saying these kind of things. Every coach and their tactics. Now let's go to Newcastle United. Now prior to the game yesterday, we made an analysis and we were like, in their last 6 games, United have dominated by winning 5, and then I think United won 1. And per their form going into this game, we knew we knew that United are the informed team. And then it became more evident that they win when Newcastle got a red card. But we'll talk about that in the main topic. But it showed that Newcastle were more ambitious, more ambiguous, more determined, more driven to win this game than United. Because look, in their last 2 games against Crystal Palace and Newcastle, you see that the intensity that they used to play when Carrick initially came is kind of dwindling. You saw them against Arsenal. We saw them against City. The kind of intensity that they applied in that game, it's not the same intensity they applied in the last 2 games. So it's a lose for them. So by the virtue of that lose and Chelsea winning, the gap is now 3 points. We'll talk about that in the main topic. Now, so please give me the top scorers list. The top scorers list in the EPL. Please, not this one. The top, the 7 and the 7E. The 7 and the 7. Then let's have a look at the top scorers award with Haaland leading, Thiago coming second, and then our very own Semenyo coming third. Now, okay, so please, this is the assist. But as you can see, Bruno Fernandes have 14 assists. I think he will win the assist award. Rancheki having 7, and then Erling Haaland having 8. Harry Wilson having 6, and then Musala, who has been some of out of color, also having 6, and then Joao Pedro having 7. Now, Joao Pedro is doing very well. So please, let's look at so these are the top scorers. Erling Haaland 22, Igor Thiago 18, Antoine Semenyo 15, and then Joao Pedro 14. Hugo Ekitike and the rest, go by the days where we will see Salah in this list, but this season it's not that good for him. So Chelsea top scorer is Joao Pedro with 14, and then United top scorer is Brian Mbeumo with 9, and Chelsea top scorer is Kopama with 9, so 9-9. So I don't know how United meandered their way to enter into the top 4 with their top scorer being Mbeumo with 9 goals. Anyways, let's talk about Joao Pedro before we move on. Let's talk about Joao Pedro. In Jackson's first season, he had 14 Premier League goals and 5 assists, making it 19 goals contribution in the 36 or 38 games that were played. In his second season, he scored 10 goals and 5 assists in the whole entirety of the Premier League game. And now Joao Pedro this season alone, in 28 games, have 19 goals contribution, which is 14 goals and 5 assists. So it showed that Chelsea has made a very good job in replacing Nicolas Jackson with Joao Pedro, because no Chelsea fan is missing Nicolas Jackson, as we say. Probably the only thing they will miss about him is the way he fights and the way he presses. But as it stands right now, Joao Pedro is doing very well.
Okay, Ebuzava winning some bench so diaba and so Marego TV, Marego Sports Center. Yeah, now say more come and I know this is a Chelsea for and so we know game now. Mami can message kakra na ewiase de bia meka say we are there na opening time here ya na efe. What I say, a relationship is very important. Na adwuma no ye ni ya you be come for what I say. My general manager ba David Water, and so there's a DM we are champion. We are going. And him say nyame adoma. We are showman. What I say. To the be in there. Yes, sports for you see a chiao. Maybe will be an aben, yes, sir. Say a chiano. Say a chia general manager.
I only know I say.
Say a jumano utia say because o chiao no chiao. To need the name general manager. Ye chiao. What I say, ye chiao and every Nyagopon kan ho na nchia no uti ase dia e na echia wo wa egusu chia we ne ete na se odi message aba bebre eno so ya dia e kama pa mo say well research content good delivery iti say we ya there na man Mario he so great job yes iti so we executive producer and general manager show program na yezo e awo general manager we boy what I say but yes e chia wo Mini Patrick ni Benten, general manager, ye chiao. But you can
ye chiao manager, ye chiao.
Me do bano. Ye chiao.
It is so somebody so aba and then mama call Patrick about 5 minutes of fire call na yembo baku mienu bi na afi yemra the main topic games na ye afi na ya so na ye call baby.
But Sly, ahead of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao about rematch now is on Bono September no. And say Team Mayweather, I line up to bouts at the Amam Mayweather. The first bout on a Michael Gerard Tyson, I do not friend of Mike Tyson, Ebeshia. Naka initially that fight, you know, I saw come on April 25 or Congo, but due to one or two reasons, no, Oma postponed the combi. Now, any Tyson model or boxing. We hear Tyson in the records I was set to boxing, although this time round or call retirement, but we hear the model boxing man. Out of 59 bouts or Kunya so far, no, what may we name 50. Out of 50, no, he had 44 by way of knockouts, losing only 7. I drew 2. The last bout or Kunya after the retirement said, just May 15, 2024, our name Jake Paul, the Kunya, I know say Jake Paul, winning by unanimous decision. So I think say the two no almost have a share. We are going to witness a very good bout because the two of them in there almost call retirement. Tyson on a Jake Paul by say now or retirement boom, and on the buy Tyson and the body or they buy back into the ring. Now could be expecting Jake Paul by knocking it out, but he was able to fight to the last round, and just because of unanimous decision, scorecards or Bemuna. Jake Paul the winning. Now aside that, almost ranging on a Greek, Greece ni Mike Zambidis. On a kickboxer, he says Conor Marego, yes. On a kickboxer on any Babishia, on any almost June, on a Mayweather, no back in June, Greece. Now also we have the modern ball kickboxing. No also about retirement this time round. Out of the 157 bouts or win or Wakono, we're winning in now. I'm winning 18 title belts. Or kickboxing mukeke. See, I'm expecting that the 2 boxers no. Our money Mayweather Bekono. At least on bet my very good and nice bout. Yeah. Ahead of on him Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. Bout no Beko in September no. So that's it for my. Have your say.
Okay. It when he sema na say idea Patrick Esotiaba na we ni nyina mo have your say ho asema and obi aso dia menim say den yan person mo kan man you asem. But then fight able so for aka ye 10 minutes after and dey 4 penny sorry so. Iti yemra na games no enra games ni bi ba so kama Chelsea kwa we ko share 4 Man City ball 2-2 Arsenal ko win 1-0 Newcastle share Man U 2-1 to say gap now is 7 points between Arsenal and so and Man City. But Pep said I got 10 games. It's Arsenal 4 fees or more the umwa. And then I befa. Ben, you know games, you know. Your take on that now. Fayem Bobo Swa na yen sorry na yenko.
Okay, so let's start with the Chelsea game. And you know, in the build up to this game, we all know that Chelsea have not been in some good form because in their last 3 games they drew 2 against Leeds and Burnley, and then they lost to Arsenal. And then going into this game against a top 4 contender, we all knew it to be very difficult. But when the game started, in the first 2 minutes, Douglas Luiz gave Aston Villa the lead. And we were like, okay, we will not be surprised if we lose. But after they conceded, they didn't actually panic. They didn't show any nervousness. They still control the tempo. They still play the kind of football they play. And then something seems to switch. Chelsea decided to play a game without a red card, without getting a red card. And then they trounced Aston Villa by 4. That is how it is. So the first goal, an underlapping run from Gusto, and then he was picked and spotted by Enzo Fernandez, who just squared it to Joao Pedro to get his first. And then the second one, you see, as a winger, if you make a move, or as a footballer, anytime you make a move, you peel off your marker, you will surely be spotted. Yeah. So Garnacho made a move. He started by running from deep, and then he was picked. He gave it to Enzo Fernandez, who slotted it to what's the name, Joao Pedro. And then the second goal. The third goal, the same thing. The fourth goal, it was like a kind of switch play. Caicedo switched it to Gusto. Gusto gave it to Palmer, who intends to switch it to Garnacho. So football is not supposed to be anything difficult. You do the basics right, you get things right. Now I am very much surprised with the way Aston Villa just fell flat, because after the second goal, it seems they kind of lost all motivation to play. And then their coach, Emery, said, you know, they are in a bad patch. So by the way things are going and by the way their form is declining, I'm not pretty sure they will finish in the top 4. Maybe they will kind of prioritize the Europa League, but the top 4 and the Premier League, because in their last 5, they won 1 and lost 4. So they are not in a good place at this particular moment. Chelsea, on the other hand, as I said, in Nicolas Jackson's first season, he had 19 goals contribution in the entirety of the Premier League. In the second season, he has 15 goals contribution in the entirety. But in Joao Pedro's first season, in the Premier League alone, in 28 games, he had the same number of contribution as what Jackson had in his first season, which is 19 goals contribution. So it has been a good buy from Chelsea by replacing Nicolas Jackson. So far so good. Nicolas Jackson is not being missed as Joao Pedro is delivering. Now let's go to United. Let's talk about your goalkeeper, Le Mans. Why is everybody praising that guy? When Le Mans came in, he played in 21 games. He considered 31 goals in that 20. No, he played in 24 games. He considered 31 goals in those 24 games, and then he kept 5 clean sheets. But because United were winning in that span, nobody is really talking about his performance. He's a good goalkeeper. No, he's putting in the saves. But in 24 games and he kept 5 clean sheets, that is bad. It's not like the Champions League or things are inclusive. The Premier League and maybe 1 or 2 cup competitions. And then consider 31 games in 31 goals in 24 games. That's why it's Onana. Because normally Onana will keep like 10 clean sheets in 24 games. I'm telling you for a fact.
You're better than Onana.
He's not better than. He's just white Onana. Let's be factual. No, look. For a top goalkeeper, for a top class goalkeeper, even Sanchez that is not doing anything proper safe. He has 9 clean sheets as illustrated.
Compare way by it to Onana last season. Man, you toss over 14 yards.
I think at a point Onana was among the guys fighting for the Golden Gloves. So say percentage wise, maybe Le Mans is doing better. But in terms of clean sheet, it is bad to keep 5 clean sheets in 24 games. It is abysmal. You understand? So I don't know this hype about Le Mans. He's not doing it better. Probably hot pick for that. They'll score him for them. One shot will count. Then he will remove it. Then he will think that he does. He does something. So yesterday Sanchez was dropped. I think that was a message from Liam Rosenior that you will get competition. Because in the game against Arsenal, especially the second goal. So I think Dan has sent him a message. Look, you go and sit on the bench. And he made some glut of changes. But the person that really took his chance was Garnacho. Because yesterday he created 4 big chances in the game, which is more than any other player. So so far yesterday it was a good day for Chelsea fans. As for Arsenal, there's nothing left to say, like just to say that they now stretch the gap to 7 points. But City still have a game in hand. So if City win that game in hand, it will be 4. And then if eventually they go to Etihad and then they lose, it's still 1. So the big winners of this Premier League round is Chelsea and Arsenal. Because Chelsea closed the gap to Aston Villa and United to 3. And then they also, went above Liverpool. So the big winners is Arsenal, extended to 7, and then Chelsea closing the gap on Arsenal, closing the gap on Aston Villa and Man United.
Okay. It's when it's my bench, so dear Patrick. And now take on games now be bass on our face.
The first take Arsenal. Say this very round say Ateta and any boys no. Many abre pass a trophy on be winning. So they are going all out, making sure say every game they approach it with what the mentality of winning. So what I say.
Yeah.
Now because City, HSC or mono. They don't want to make any little mistake. Trophy no. Now winning 1-0 yesterday, more or less like game and motivate you into the next game. Was over the next 6 matches or 4 matches I can. Or about 2 matches home.
Yeah.
On Everton about home. Or you on the bomb of Abo home. On the Fulham about home.
Yeah.
So these 3 matches no, it's likely. One born home, you can win 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So what I say, it is say Pep can say I can't 10 matches. There's still hope for City. Many no said that game no Ube winner is from the scratch.
Okay.
So what I say, it's from the scratch. Now City and then Nottingham Forest
2-2.
2-2. na nka omo so munim so mbe win na nka ya e boost omumoro ase the bear anytime Arsenal best sleep no they will just overpass them and then fight for the trophy but Ankonisa he has to go back to the drawing board, sit his boys down, sack them. 1 or 2 tactics are better than, or they encourage your man, they will go into their next match and win. And they're here for now. It's not about the number of matches. If you go into the match, that's a tactics are unfair. Definitely you lose or you play draw.
Yeah.
Then on a Chelsea game, I think say under Rosinha, Chelsea bought that kind of possessive football. Recently, was Arsenal, Arsenal. In the first half, we were able to possess about 57%. And Arsenal about 43%. But one thing I mean say, the more I possess the ball, no, say you break it, or your defense no break it, especially when, because you possess no, we try to look out for what goals. Now, once you open it, so when he said because of that, no, say more players then echo nakabe 2 or 3 defenders. So what they do is they just take us on the counter. Not quite a problem. And now the same thing AC and Aston Villa. In the 40th minute, after say take Kano, we are still possessing the ball, putting on the pressure to get what more goals. And then in the 40th minute, then American Kano. Aston Villa take it ball from their post on a counter. And yet a little slide, imagine be a rule go offside down. And I think say that offside goal no, and my man Aston Villa there, elusu concentration, and I might to make sure will be brave, sir. So Rosina has to look at those things. Now he has to work on it. And now so Mr. Becca say Sanchez, Arsenal game no. Or a whole lot of mistakes, or count 2 goals I consider in your lo and behold, Rosina was able to change him. Where Jorgensen saves the impact. And I only wish Rosina be more opportunity. Was the more man opportunity, none the confidence there, rising. And the Bema on the Sanchez, there will be competition.
Okay.
The little mistake out, Sanchez be on kinds of better bench.
Okay.
What I say, on kinds of better bench.
Okay. All right. But no idea say almost say Newcastle share money to news and news. Football. Yeah, news. News. Mr. Robert,
want to me fan check 10 against 11.
Debate.
Chelsea na red card na ka ye share and ka bega so.
There be say ye no dear. Say ti. Me person oti ase. Game ni bi wo ho a. Enye da bia no be win. Ba na do baby so a. Man you were in a moment say be win game. Just a slippery something. Ye be show. Inti abani sa there. You dey fancy you.
Yesterday he was making with Marego.
You see,
the way Flower was talking
a team virus
as
sweeping the camp.
Virus no boy. Newcastle virus. But just that yesterday Newcastle they were clinical. They were because baby I'm done in here. And I don't they feel said they have to do something. And so
and I don't also think you Man you played
better. No.
He didn't play
not that bad.
But
but we feel that players will be up and doing. They be a clinical front here take your chances here say we were well Paul say we need game.
I always say lack na any more sign. Because we hear Euro chance here on your say.
Euro is sexy. It was
lack na any.
All right, so guys, yeah, I can't hear 1 minute per. Yeah, share.
So let me just cut the quick one then. The African Cup, the Women's African Cup of Nations was supposed to take place
in Morocco,
but it has been extended for unforeseen reasons. Now we all know what happened between Morocco, Senegal, CAF, and everything. So Morocco still has some form of anguish in them because there was a time where they said they were not going to host this WAFCON. And then South Africa stepped in, and then CAF went and speak to Morocco, and then they said they will host it again. But now it has been extended to July and August. This African Cup of Nations is very important because it is what will determine which national
countries
team
are supposed to go to the World Cup.
To the World Cup. So
yeah.
it has been extended for unforeseen.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's because Morocco is closer to the Middle East. That is why. I don't know.
Well,
yes, but now it has been postponed.
Okay. Well, South Africa feels so more. Okay. Area Semenyo. 10 seconds now. Sorry. So why? Patrick, who Semenyo saying?
It's like Semenyo airborne homewarding. To be honest with you, we share your Ghanaian players abroad as it stands now. It's like I said, he has been the outstanding player for now.
Okay.
And I hope say the performance a bit more buoyant World Cup.
All right. Nyame ademo try ye ba ye be kan wasem kaba. Ben, 10 seconds now.
Yes. So I think he should win player of the month because the kind of impact he has since he went to City is very huge. You know, the disparity between him and the other Ghanaian players now playing outside is very huge as well. So he's among the top scorers, and then Kudi is also among the top assists. So his influence since he joined Man City has been very optimistic. So so far so good for him.
All right. Eti ebusafo enfensia nyame adom abadwafo ochena emre bema ye beba na ye the extended one in the 2 hours in time wo na ya ka Semenyo wasem kakra enti mo onyama bebremu de emu fensi ansa nyame adom na ochena adom dom ye ne ba na bunyi ne apie kama besan se mu bibia kroji enti general manager sports team esi echiawo na wie oni admi ye chiawo pa midin na the champions asida Enfakoma Patrick any Bente Robert and our face dear Bibite Maule K and our face no Achu Sam so Newtini are munina Mario Mojanam Obia ete at the sports center Jumedi every meeting at the champions sorry so na afide de at the sound wave misono abeto amuso.